So, y'all, I feel very vindicated seeing this article because I remember doing a video not too long ago saying this. Doesn't it feel as though that if this show and shows like in the franchise, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage Detroit, I'm not feeling the love in these shows. I don't watch Detroit, but as far as Huntsville, I am not seeing a lot of love. And I always also feel like some of these marriages aren't marriaging. And I know like marriages have their ups and downs, but sometimes it can make you be like, I don't know if I want that. If you're like a person that's never been married watching it. But then again, married people let me know in the comments. It is what we are seeing online a good depiction of what marriage is when we watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you guys watch Love and Marriage Detroit, let me know because maybe I'm living in a fairy tale, but it can seem a little I don't even want to say toxic masculinity, but it does seem like not a good display of marriages. I know that, but we'll see. So this article said Carlos King promotes toxic masculinity on his shows and podcast commentary. Fans think Love and Marriage Huntsville producer Carlos King promotes toxic masculinity, and Carlos King says he's giving them what they want. Who's right and who's wrong? Now, this is interesting. Now, is it the fact that maybe we like ratchet TV as a viewing audience in general? Is it maybe the fact that he feels as though that everyday relationships aren't as popping and in your face and doesn't get the same reactions or viewership as ratchet television does? I don't know. Maybe he does have a point. I think I told you guys my history with watching Potomac, Real Housewives of Potomac. I kind of thought that it was born just off of little clips. I ain't never really hear too much of their drama going on, but I tuned in once I had heard that Candace and Monique got in a fight. So I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting now. See, oh my God, I think I'm problematic too. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. But it's true. So this article says for the past several months, OWN and Bravo fans have been calling out Carlos King for producing shows that give a platform to toxic men like Martell Holt of Love and Marriage Huntsville. He recently responded to these allegations saying that he's simply sharing the drama-filled storylines that keep them interested. But is this actually true? Who is right in this argument, Carlos or the fans? And I also feel as though, of course, I think that reality TV is interesting because, they add a little spice to it. Maybe some of the storylines are manufactured or whatever. But I think we want our ratchet, but we don't like too much doing too much. You know what I mean? We don't like it when it gets gutter. It's just some stuff you feel like needs to be kept in the closet. We don't gotta know about it. So the article, goes on and on and on and on. But I wanted to get to this part. Why are fans upset with Carlos King? In this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville, fans begin to notice a pattern. A new friend of Melody Cherie's would join the group and soon enough would then find reasons not to like Melody. Viewers begin to think that these moments were being orchestrated by Carlos. Both he and Melody spoke against this, but regardless of that, viewers had a much larger bone to pick with Carlos, and that bone is named Martell Holt. Oh, these fans is. Oh, see, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think people understand that marriages can go through a divorce. You know what I mean? Divorce wouldn't exist if it wasn't for marriages. It wouldn't be no such thing as divorce if we didn't have marriages. But I think that people are turned off or uncomfortable with how Martell is carrying on about with the revenge, this and that allegations. And it just seems as though he's having a hard time letting Melody go, even though his actions basically destroyed their marriage. So I think people are like very confused by that and just like Martell, you made your bed, lay in it. And I feel like a little bit too, people aren't feeling Martell because when the cheating was going on, it's like he doubled down on it. He wasn't trying to. It's like when Melody confronted him about his actions, he didn't care. He just kept on going, kept on doing it. And now you're gonna get mad at Melody for moving on. People don't like that. People do. So the article continues. In May 2023, a change.org petition was created calling for Carlos King and Martell Holt to be fired from this show. Now, I think that's funny because Carlos is a whole producer, so I don't know if y'all can like get him fired or anything because he's a creator, but Yeah, yeah. So the petition states Carlos King has fostered a hostile work environment on the set. He has frequently allowed Martell Holt to harass and terrorize his ex-wife at work. There have been multiple times when Martell had to be held back by intervening cast members from physically attacking Melody, both on and off camera. It goes on to say that Martell also allegedly assaulted a female crew member for not being allowed to have access to Melody. I know that, y'all. Martell Holt's behavior is most certainly volatile. He's threatened to release revenge PORN using footage they created while still married. Yeah, y'all remember the video I did about that. You know I didn't like that. You know I didn't like that foolishness. And that's when it's certain things I feel like I can tolerate. I know a lot of people didn't like Mark on the show. I know a lot of people didn't like Miss Wanda on the show. And they were annoying as well. But I feel as though like things like bringing a mistress on the show, I'm completely turned off. And also using like private, intimate footage against somebody on a show. I don't like to like embarrass somebody or humiliate them. I don't think. No, I'm not gonna say I think. I don't like that either. That's where I feel like I draw the line. So even allegations of Martell having that kind of footage and possibly even allegedly having something to do with that, now I can understand why they was writing a letter or doing a petition. So it says he also created lies about her use of babysitters in an attempt to get full custody of their children. Fans have also accused him of purposefully casting toxic husbands in the latest series in the Love and Marriage franchise, Love and Marriage Detroit. Is it really that bad, y'all? For the people that watch Love and Marriage Detroit, y'all gotta let me know, is it really all that bad? So the article continues. Is Carlos King's response to fan criticism correct or incorrect? Carlos King responded to the fan criticism in a simple way. He said he's just giving them what they want. In an interview on his podcast, he said, if I created a show and it was about everybody being happy go lucky, life is good, rainbows and skittles, and we have picnics on Saturday, and that's that. Y'all will call my show boring and not watch it, and it will be canceled, right? The thing is this everybody's relationship is different. Everybody, man, female, or they, everybody has a toxic moment, a moment that they're not proud of. Every relationship goes through its ups and downs. We are watching the show because at the end of the day, you can relate to it. And in a way, he does have a point. People watch reality TV for the drama, and we've seen the results of what happens when things get unboring, most recently in the current season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know about that. I feel like Housewives of Atlanta took a way down turn. Again, I feel like some things can just be a bit much. I feel like it took a turn when the whole sex dungeon with Candy, Portia, and Phaedra. That was like a very low of the show, and I feel like it's never been the same since. I almost feel like the best of the show from what I've seen so far would be season 9 and below. Anything after that, I really didn't. It just didn't seem the same after that allegation. So I don't know what this person talking about this show being this season being unborn because Housewives is pretty unborn. I almost feel like I'm on my way out. And although people talk about Candy being born, if she leaves, I'm gonna leave as a viewer because I'm not really interested in nobody else on that show like that. Kenya, yes, but she's starting to be boring. So yeah, like Kenya was her good self when she had Portia to go back and forth at, and when she had Phaedra to go back and forth at. So it's just not the same. It's just not the same. Okay, so viewership has gone down due to what feels like manufactured storylines and people just being tired of members of the current cast. So, yes, what he said had validity, but it does not cover the full perspective of the issues. The petition is not calling for the firing of all the toxic husbands in the shows. Many fans find Marcel Scott toxic for his shifty behavior. I like that word, shifty, and his brother Maurice Scott for disregarding his wife Kimmy Scott's feelings constantly. But they aren't calling for them to be fired because they are not harassing their wife, but they're also married. Okay. Fans are watching them and getting angry because they are exhibiting toxic behaviors, but there is not an inkling of violence towards their wives. That's true. Martell's behavior since he and Melanie got divorced have been nothing but harassment, and that is where the issue becomes raised. And the viewership seems to match the fans' sentiment. Seasons 1 through 5 had pretty steady viewership. However, this current season, which is in the midst of the break, has seen numbers drop pretty significantly. While no one can confirm with certainty that Martell's behavior toward Melody are the reasons for the drop, it does coincide with fans' complaints. While love and marriage, while fans hope for Carlos King to be fired, are unlikely to happen. Like, right? Yeah, like, he is the creator. He ain't going nowhere. One can only hope that Carlos begins to take their words into consideration. There is plenty of drama on Love and Marriage Huntsville without Martell Holt. He is unnecessary, and it might be time to give serious consideration to cutting him loose. Oh man, I wouldn't say cut Martell loose, but I feel as though Martell needs to be reined in a little bit, because to me he is doing a bit too much, and it's turning people off. People don't like to see all that unnecessary drama. People don't like to feel like somebody's being bullied or whatever. That's something that doesn't resonate well with viewers. We don't like seeing that. Like, in human and everyday life, we don't like to see harassment. We don't, and we just don't. So we definitely not going to want to see it on our TV. But what do you guys think is the reason for the ratings dropping on this show? I think that they, for me, had went away from showing more of what they do in the community and the ins and outs of that. Like, I found it interesting when the Scots were trying to do black, and I just find certain things like that interesting to see what they do in the city, especially being African American in some of these, especially being African American in the sector that they are in, with property management. I think that's pretty cool to see. So hopefully they'll get more back to that kind of stuff. The drama is cool too. The interactions is good, but like I said, sometimes it can get a bit much. And do not forget to check out my other content regarding how to start your YouTube channel. Yes, it's going to be coming soon. I'm going to be dropping an ebook to help you guys out, and then also creating content here on YouTube. So you won't have to go far on how you can do what I do, and that's start your YouTube channel. Even you don't even have to watch my content or buy any of my products. Just hearing this, I'm talking to you. If you thought, when you heard me say start your YouTube channel, you had like I should do, yeah, you. So you don't have to wait for my stuff. You could go online now and see how to start your YouTube channel. But I definitely want to share my experience and my perspective on what I did to grow my channel and to get monetized. So yes, guys, we're gonna look out for that. Other than that, thank you again for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.
Met Synquette, man, the girl was heaven sent. Met Synquette, man, the girl was heaven sent.